May I thank the honourable gentleman for his kind words, but also, again, his tone. And I think it's very important at a time when so many debates in this House have been very fractious on matters that we dare not discuss, but more importantly, that we are able to unite and in a constructive way, talk about an issue that I know is close to the hearts of many of us in this House. On the issue of the garrison, I've touched on it. The importance of security within the region is something that we do take very seriously, and I think we are obviously negotiating a range of safeguards for British nationals. But I think the main thrust of what the honourable gentleman had to say was to do with the Commonwealth, and I wanted to touch on that if I may. As he alluded to, the Commonwealth Charter states very specifically that members are opposed to all forms of discrimination, whether rooted in gender, race, colour, creed, political belief or other grounds. And at the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting here in London in April of last year, the Prime Minister made absolutely clear that no one should face persecution or discrimination because of who they are, who they love. And the UK stands ready to support any Commonwealth member wanting to reform outdated legislation that makes such discrimination possible. I think I should put this into context. This is not in any way to justify what is happening specifically in relation to Brunei, but it is worth, I think, recognising that in relation to the death penalty, 30 member states of the Commonwealth do have the death penalty, 4 have imposed a full or partial moratorium, 19 have abolished it, and obviously we're working on trying to increase that number. As regards the criminalisation of same-sex relationships, there are still 35 member states that still criminalise consensual same-sex relations, primarily as a result of colonial-era legislation. That doesn't actually apply in relation to Brunei, obviously. But since CHOGM 2018, 2 Commonwealth member states have decriminalised same-sex relationships, India and Trinidad and Tobago, and together they account for, of course, well over 1 billion people. And I think what I wanted to say is that obviously there are also 2 member states that are able to impose death penalty, in principle at least, for same-sex relationships. Brunei and some 12 states in the north of Nigeria, which have adopted elements of Sharia law. Through a component of their legal system, this, of course, does not mean the death penalty will necessarily be enacted. Now, clearly this is an issue that we are working with, Commonwealth countries have been working and will continue to do so. We would like to think there is progress being made. Obviously, I would very much agree with the sentiment of the House that the imposition of a Sharia code in this way the penal code aspect of it is a backward step as far as Brunei is concerned. But I think there is progress elsewhere, and we will continue to work within the broad international community as well as within the Commonwealth to try and ensure that countries come on board. I think the best way of doing it, rather than making threats about kicking out countries, expelling them from the Commonwealth, are more positive ways to try and hold them close, recognise that there are some very strong connections that are there. And I think I would go back again at the very individual level to what the honourable gentleman said, that a close member of his Foreign Commonwealth team staff, whom it bleeds their heart, that it is giving a very misleading impression of actually what a friendly and generous place Brunei is. It is, and indeed the Sultan of Brunei has been a great friend of this country over many years. He has himself, I think, become a little more devout as he has got older in life, and it's one of the reasons that the Sharia code, based of course on Saudi Arabian Sharia code, has been put into place. But I'm very hopeful that we can continue to have a positive and constructive dialogue on this issue in both Brunei and, as I say, with a number of other countries whom we would like to see making changes in future.
Tom Tugendhat.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. Looking around this chamber, I'm reminded